We're good. We're on.
We're on? Why, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Joe and Black Ministries. I'm Father Joe Krupp, and you are not. And today is, wow, I was going to say the date. But here's the thing. We're going to show this on a later day. So where I am, it's what is this? January. This is January 8th, year of our Lord 2025. But I can exist outside of linear time. I have power you can't imagine. So I don't know what date it is for you, but I'm sure it's in the future because that's how my power works. We are so excited. We are on the Good News Cruise with Keanu Reeves, right on my right. Just coming off of John Wick 7. But before I get into it, I've got to say hello to all of our foreign correspondents. Patricia and Veronica in Scotland, Bren Van in Canada, Sabine in Germany, Richard in England, Margaret in New Zealand, Chris in the Philippines, John in Spain, Jose in Mexico, Karen in Singapore, Eileen in Australia, and Kevin in Wisconsin. I'm getting pointed at. Oh, because Kevin's here. Kevin from Wisconsin is in the crowd. For those of you who are regular listeners to the show, he is a horrible, horrible man who I've known since I was ordained. And him and his lovely... Is Joanne here? Okay. I didn't think she'd come because she has taste. But Joanne's here. These are just two rock star Catholics who make the church better everywhere they go. When Kevin was retiring from his secular career, he came to me and said, I want to give 2 years to the church. And he gave 2 years of his wisdom, his business acumen, and his deep faith. And for a guy like me, right, when you're a priest, it's like, I have degrees in theology, history, philosophy, and then they're like, here's a $5 million business. Run that. Yeah? And so that's what, now we go?
Yep.
Okay. We were rudely interrupted.
Yeah.
Just because you're captain of the ship. I'm like, oh my gosh. That's how you're supposed to say it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What were we talking about? I don't even remember.
We were celebrating that Dr. Ray wasn't coming now.
Oh, yeah. Thank God.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys know. He is a horrible man. He hates God and America. He doesn't pray. Usually Dr. Ray, hello. This is awkward. I was talking about Dr. Ray Johnson, Smith, Jones, Jenkins. So Dr. Ray will be here in just a minute.
Yeah.
If you're up for it. Are you up for it? I see the tether. The little thing is flashing, so the police know where you are, Doc. So before we get to Dr. Ray,
Yes.
And I don't know if I did my intro or not. I have no recollection of anything, Senator. I did? Okay. So which camera are we on? This one?
Yep.
This is David. For those of you who don't know David DiFranco, I have been blessed to know him for almost, I did the math, 26 years.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Wow,
I
that's
remember,
fantastic.
so David, I knew one of my friends, his name is Michelle, and she was like, I'm dating a guy, and she didn't tell me it was Keanu Reeves, right? And I remember the first time she introduced me to you, I was like, Michelle, you should have told me you were dating Keanu Reeves. And I met him, I says, hello, I'm Father Joe. He says, oh, I'm David. And
Just put it right on the chair.
anyway.
Excellent.
So David is the king, co-king of corporate travel, which this whole thing, you guys, that we're doing, this Catholic Good News Cruise, is their brainchild. It's actually the brainchild of Jesus, but he works through people, right? Even people like David. And we're just so blessed by what you guys are doing, bro.
Oh,
and
we're blessed. We're blessed.
So here we are on the 20. Is this 25? This is 25.
25.
Okay, and then we're doing another one next year.
Yep, we sure are.
And because if you want to pay for this year's cruise and you're listening right now, you can. Just mail your check to me. And we'll make sure you get credit for being on a cruise that you weren't on. I am happy to take your money for Jesus. But if you want to go next year, are there any spots left?
I don't know. I'm not trying to be coy. There was,
Right.
as of this morning, there were under 10 cabins left for 2026.
Okay. So,
So-
and this morning is January something or other. So,
8th, I think.
which is it?
Is it the 8th today? I believe,
January
yeah.
8th. So if you are listening to the show and you're interested in Good News Cruise 2026, you'll want to hop over to the website, and it's really hard to remember, goodnewscruise.com. What?
Goodnewscruise.com.
And don't say www, right? You say World Wide Web. It's less syllables.
Yeah.
You notice that?
Yeah, that's weird.
I don't know where this came from.
Yeah.
It's like, well, what's the abbreviation?
Yeah.
You know, and what's the word, Bob?
Yeah, strange. Never
World
thought of
Wide
that.
Web.
World Wide Web.
World Wide Web. Oh, goodnewscruise.com.
But then people will type World Wide Web and everything gets messed up.
I think it'll work. Should we try?
Give it a go.
No, don't.
No, let's not.
Okay. Someone needs to try, Chuck. For those of you who don't know, this is Chuck. He's my lovely research assistant. He actually, this is a crazy piece of trivia. Do you remember Wheel of Fortune with Vanna White?
Sure.
He finished second. Vanna White was the one they picked. I mean, Chuck was right nipping at her heels. Yeah, please do not research that in any way at all.
Did you just say Chuck was wearing heels?
Yes. Oh,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, David, why should people come on the Good News Cruise next year if there's a spot? If they're not, they're losers.
Yeah. Well, and if there's not a spot, please get on the wait list because it can happen that cabins do open. So don't.
I'm on a wait list, but it's like WEIGHT.
Yes.
Like my doctor said, Joe, I'm worried about your weight. And I said, I'll gain weight, fine. You know, it's like, gosh, oh my gosh. Anyway, so what? Okay.
What was the question?
I don't know.
Yeah.
David, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of getting this started?
What she said. That was the question.
I absolutely can. So in our industry, in our business, we have another division that does charter cruises of all different other types. Not necessarily faith-based, right? A lot of them are music. They're wholesome. They're great, and they're fun. But you get on these charter cruises, and you talk to the people who work on the ships, and you realize that there's a lot of sort of genres out there that will do charter cruises that are not savory.
Yeah.
There's people that come on here to have the kind of parties that would make the devil blush. You know, it's just.
I actually one time saw the ancient Romans fleeing a cruise ship. They were so horrified. Yeah.
Kind of. Yeah. Quite so. And then you think about the people, the staff on board, right? Who are like, they're stuck here because they work here and they got to put up with that kind of stuff. I won't take that exit ramp.
I can.
But you can imagine.
I'm sorry.
And in fact, I got pictures of Father Joe on one of those.
On the Ixchers pay.
Okay. But anyway, you talk this, and it can actually be like, it can bring you down. When like really, you can fill a ship with people that do that. And so, but you can stand and curse the darkness, or you can light a candle, right? We said, well, here's what we'll do. Since so many of these themes are, if you just like them like objectively and paint them with a brush, they're really like anti-marriage. They're at least they're anti the
marriage
Catholic definition of marriage.
The only one.
And so we're like, well, let's just do something positive. Like, right? People have all different kinds of marriages. Some are doing great, some are hurting, some are in trouble. Let's just do something that like promotes, scaffolds, and celebrates the Catholic definition of marriage. So we did our first one. It was a group cruise, and I think we had like 400 people. Yeah. Father John Ricardo was there. Father Joe Krupp was there. A number of other speakers, and it went very, very well. And we quickly realized. I remember a moment we were done. It was like the last night of the cruise, and I was with my brother-in-law, who's my business partner, John, and we're walking through the hallways at night, and there was this guy on board our cruise that year. He was a big, tall guy, and he was from Texas, and he had the hat on. He was like, says 2 words every day, kind of a guy. And he walked up to us, and he's like, "Boys, you got something here." He's nice. He's like, "People need this." Yeah. And John and I are like, "Yeah, let's do it again." So anyway, it's just grown every year since. And next year, it'll be different than it's ever been because next year is the full ship charter, right? Yes. So instead of being like 900 people out of 6,000 or whatever it is, we are the whole ship. The entire ship is Good News Cruise, which gives us so much more flexibility. And thank you.
It is a
thank you, really. Yeah.
And to be clear, it's a rowboat. Which is why it filled up so quickly. Yeah. It was like we can take 2 people.
You remember Gilligan's Island? Yeah.
What's going on?
Announcement.
Oh, sorry. A stone. What? Isn't this
We
terrible?
were talking about the money you owe me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Carrie has it.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we were talking about the Good News
The good news
Cruise.
is this is a charter next year.
Yes,
So-
that's right. We have the whole boat.
Yeah.
Including the buffet.
Including the buffet. Yep. Which Dr. Ray
Can
also.
we talk
is-
about the king of the buffet? Is this how we transition to
Let's
Dr. Ray?
bring. This is a great transition. Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. Dr. Ray is the man. I mean, that's just science, right? I don't know if you know this. I had a vision one time of St. Thomas Aquinas taking notes while Ray was talking.
Yes.
And I honestly thought that's all there was to him. Oh, deep spirituality and intellect, But it turns out the man can destroy a buffet.
He can destroy a buffet.
He can
and then
absolutely.
he burns it off in the gym.
I know. First time I saw him, not on TV.
Yeah.
Where's John? John and I were walking in. It was the first Good News Cruise. And you had a choice between an escalator, right, or 9,653 steps.
Right.
And there was Dr. Ray. I think he's 90.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he was flying up those stairs like Jesse frickin' Owens.
I know.
And I'm like at one point the escalator broke. And I because there's a part of me that's like, well, it's just stairs now. Right? You know what I mean? But even then I was like, that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And there was Doc.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Non-stop. Energizer Bunny.
Yeah.
Yep.
So let's give a warm welcome to Dr. Ray.
Let's do that.
My big bro. Love you, man. Come on down. However you guys want to do it. There's another chair. Dave's going to put the headset on. Okay. Yeah. This is all, we got to put Ray in the middle. It's all part of the probation agreement.
Yes.
So, Doc, how are you?
You know what? Oh, hold on.
Wait, we're getting
amateur.
direction. Look at this. We're getting direction. You got to come closer to your little brother. Wow, I can't move you. Okay, she's doing this. It's like a T-Rex.
So
Look,
I'm
she's
trying
kind
to
of.
follow her.
Do you know what I mean?
I
She's
don't
doing it
think
like a
this is-
T-Rex.
This is not going to be comfortable.
Yeah. Here, how about this? And then... Can you imagine? That always reminds me of a T-Rex. And I always think about, a Tyrannosaurus
That's
Rex.
just you're like a restaurants when you go for the check.
Yeah.
Alligator,
right? And
alligator arms.
Yeah, can you
Yeah.
imagine them as a bouncer? Be like, whoa. Let me see some ID here.
You know something you said? You're such an amateur.
Talk to me, Goose.
You called him the Coke King. Did anybody
Coke
pick
King.
that up? Oh, Coke King. He called
Dash
you
King.
the Coke
You
King.
thought you were going to get some from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are in the.
And then you know why? You know why John didn't win? Because they came and they want you to say the phrase.
Yeah.
He said, "I'd like to buy a bowel."
Okay.
That
Okay.
wiped out right there.
Yeah, that'll do it every time. Yeah. Well, if we're talking about Coke, we are in the Caribbean.
Okay.
Just for the record.
Don't mess it up.
Right. Oh, good, sweet, fancy Moses, Ray. So, Doc, this is our fifth. What are you touching my candy for?
Look at this.
What?
Look at this.
Well, one of those is for sister.
Can't be too far away.
No, well, these are for sister. Oh, you know what I did to Doc when we were at the hotel in wherever we were, and we hadn't eaten since 1376. So Cassie over here pulls 80 of these out of her purse. Can y'all see them? They're candy bar-ish. Yeah, they're tiny, and we put them in a pile in the middle of the table, and we fell on them like the plane was going down. And Ray is disciplined, so he didn't have any. I took all the wrappers and put them in front of Ray. And seriously, didn't she? When the gal came to get our stuff, she was like, wow, you're quite an eater, to Ray. And I felt bad. Is that what I'm supposed to say?
You know, you could do that with guys.
Yeah.
You can go to a guy and go, "Hey, you're bulking up a little bit.
Yeah.
What you trying to do? Hit the long ball next year? Bad on the belly."
Right.
You even smell that you're observing a woman's weight. You even say something like, "Have you lost weight?" You're dead.
You could get murdered.
You're dead.
Yeah. I have 6 sisters, and if I learned anything, the key is to nod and smile. It's like when you're in a foreign country. You just... a lot. Because you can't blow that. The moment words come out of your mouth, something has gone awry.
I don't ever have the last word
Me either.
in an argument with my wife
Me either.
because the last word is the start of a new argument.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So how long have you been married, bro? The second marriage, not
Yeah.
the first one.
17 happy years.
Yeah, but how long have you been married?
40.
Total? 40. Yes, absolutely.
My wife says, she goes, "Oh, you got 17."
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll say that.
Well, you know, it's funny. I don't know if I ever told you this. 2 women asked me to marry them, and I said yes to both, and I thought that was bigamy. I did.
Who writes your material? You might want to give these people a discount.
I'm
Yeah.
so sorry, you
Yeah.
guys. I promise we talk about Jesus. I do. It's just we only get to see each other like once a year, and that's really the 3 of us. And this is what happens. You know what I mean? This is what happens. So about Jesus, tall guy, long hair, saved the world. You remember him?
I wasn't old enough. I had just been born. Patricia
Okay.
Tomeo, she troubled me.
Hey, folks, that's all. We're gonna do the rest of the show from a bunker in New Mexico. Yeah. Oh, so anyway, all kidding aside, what book are you working on? A book right now?
Right now,
Talk to me, Goose.
anxiety.
I'm really worried about this book.
Yes.
Yeah.
You realize how many people are anxious? Oh, they're anxious in social
I am.
situations. They're anxious because they have these little isolated phobic fears, or they have a panic attack. Oh, panic attack's the worst thing in the world. You think I had a panic attack? I'm losing my mind. I'm going to die. My heart is going haywire. Most of the time, a panic attack is just your adrenaline system gone haywire for whatever the reason. There is no danger whatsoever.
Or you're sitting next to Dr. Ray and Father Joe.
Right.
And he does,
And wearing metal
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you worry. You
Yeah.
know God's aim's good, but if you got metal on. In fact, do you mind if I share my experience with you on this?
as long as it makes me look good.
Oh,
So I guess we'll go.
okay. Let's change the
Okay.
subject. No, I have and I know you might not believe this, but it's true. Being in front of a crowd, fine. Being in a crowd, I don't do well at all. I
You are
struggle.
a crowd.
What's that?
You are a crowd.
I am. I only. Ray told me earlier. He says, Joe, I only know 4 fat people, and you're 3 of them. And I'll be honest, that hurt. But all kidding aside, like after mass is the hardest time for me, when you have all these people around you, and I just don't do well at all. Couldn't get on crowded elevators. Costco was the worst for me, right? Because the German need to save money. Combined
Collided with your anxiety.
hit the anxiety, and I just couldn't do it. Like I would get into Costco, and I'd have to leave. I just couldn't do it, and shaking, sweating, the whole thing. And
Let me stop you.
yeah, talk to me, Goose.
You were terrified of that feeling. That
Say it.
feeling was nothing. That
Right.
feeling was just adrenaline.
Yeah.
It was nothing but arousal, but the feeling terrified you
Yes.
because you interpreted it as something is wrong.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And that's what he helped. Like Dr. A helped me honestly in the simplest way. And I thought, well, he's going to help me, but it's going to be a very long process. And I mean, it's still hard. But like just the other day, we got on the elevator, and Guatemala got in there with me.
Yeah.
The entire country was in. I was literally holding my bag up here because humans were touching me that I don't know, and I'm like, and ask these guys. I just started saying what you taught me, right? I welcome this, right? I welcome this. The thing I feel of I have to punch somebody or run away. Those are my 2 choices. I replaced with, there's no danger here, which I can't do at my home parish in Flint.
People don't
But that's just
understand
common
that.
sense. Yeah.
They don't
Yeah.
understand that. Distress is not danger.
And that's
If you
what
were
I've
in
been
true
wrapped.
danger, if somebody came in that door with a gun, you would all have an immediate panic attack. Why? Because you're in danger and your body is protecting you. But if you go in there and you sit down and there's people all around you, have the exact same reaction.
Yep.
There's no danger. So what happens is your mind tricks your body into reacting, and you think, oh my, this is dangerous. I've got to stop it.
Yeah.
So you leave. Or you...
What's wrong?
I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him.
Just get a regular one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to get one of them big chocolate
Right.
eclairs.
Yep. You go in, you're like, oh, I'll have a Diet Coke. Oh, I can make it a
Eclair.
Coke. Yeah.
So I was saying that...
Oh,
what
is he done?
happens is, no, he's done.
Oh, sorry.
When you have that feeling, you want to escape it.
Yes.
You want to make it stop no matter what. It's horrible. It's awful. You leave the scene or you do whatever you have to do. You distract yourself. Okay, I'm not going to die. I'm going to be fine. But if you were in real danger, the last thing you would do is distract yourself. You're not going to distract
Wow.
yourself. If some guy comes in with a gun, you're going to go, well, he's not there. I think I'll think about something pleasant.
And we
I'll think
should
about a
establish, look and
beach."
say, what kind of gun is that?
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
guns, and
It
I'd
may not
want to
even be
know.
loaded.
Yeah, I'd want to know what's going to kill me.
But there's something called the anxiety trick. The anxiety trick is this. If you leave, you feel better. You think it worked. No, it didn't. You made it worse.
Yep.
Now it's even stronger.
Yep.
And then there's something called generalization. Okay, you had your panic attack here. What's to say you won't have it in church?
Dude.
What's to say you won't have it in Costco? It has to do this, see? So there's all kinds of
Oh, it grows.
erroneous
You know,
ideas.
that's
about
where
panic
you
attacks.
helped me a lot was when, like, you said a lot that helped. But one of the most important was when you said, if you leave, you will make it worse.
That's right.
And I fought you on it. You may remember. I was like, no, I've been there. The second I get out,
Feel better.
right? Like, especially after Mass, just get in the vestry, close the door, and pray to Jesus they all go away. You know?
Yeah, you really don't want people at Mass like
No,
that.
I just don't like people.
Yeah.
It's not personal. It's not. No, it's just. But just keep speaking that to myself. You're not in danger, and like, what blew me away when we were talking was in 20. Give me a second. 18, 17, 16.
1816?
In 1816.
A little-
No, in 2016, I got a call. I was, and it was a woman just screaming on the phone. And I knew her number. I knew there was trouble. And I ran over to their house. They were just 2 blocks from the parish. And when I got there, the husband who was having PTSD issues, he put a shotgun right, like, the 2 barrels right here, and he was screaming. And I knew he,
Shotgun at you?
and I knew he couldn't tell who I was. Like, he's a good dude. He was just it was awful. And I distinctly remember, and I'm dead serious, saying, well, this is it, right? This is it. This is how I go.
So an
And
elevator makes you more nervous than a shotgun in your face.
that's what blew me away, is when you said
So
that, I
don't use
said,
those words.
yeah, no, I said, it's the same
Don't say
fear.
blew me away.
Yeah, blew me. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
He
No,
just doesn't use the right words.
no, but all kidding aside, when you said that, I was like, it's the exact same fear.
It
It is the
Exactly
exact
true.
same feeling. Now, in that case, I was calm. Praise God, it was grace, right? I just said, you have to put it down or pull the trigger, right?
You
Those
didn't
are
give
your
him
only
any,
2
you didn't give him
choices.
C.
Yeah, and yeah,
Might have given him C, David, you know.
right.
Turn it around.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's something like
Pointed
that.
at your wife,
Put
you
your
know.
put your fingers in the
Right.
barrels.
No, but I did. The Lord gave me a call, and I just said, brother, you got to pull the trigger or put it down. Those are your only 2 choices. And had to say it a couple times, and he put it down, and everything ended fine, right? He got help and all this. But when you said that about you're not in danger, I was struck by it is the exact same
It is.
feeling. I know the brain doesn't have the capacity to remember pain in the sense we can remember there was pain. We can't make ourselves feel that pain again. You can make yourself feel the exact same, wow, this is it. This is how I die. And it is the exact same fear. In Costco,
the
it's a
body's
freaking
stupid.
shotgun. It is.
The body is stupid. It does what the brain tells it. If
Yeah.
the brain tells it there's some kind of danger in Costco,
Right.
no matter what it is, your body's going to react. The amygdala goes, all right, go into defense mode,
Yep.
summon up everything you got, and just get like this.
Yeah.
And people want to make it stop.
Yep. Dang. But it did work. Like, I just cowboyed up, right? And the next few times I'm in Costco, and it's embarrassing how easy it was to move from, if I don't leave, I'm going to die. And I mean it. That feeling of, if I don't get out of Costco, I'm going to die, or someone around me is, to, you're not in danger. Go get eggs, right? Or,
Well, paying for them would be danger.
we got to pay for that
Yeah,
stuff?
That's danger.
Oh, that might explain some things.
Yeah, that
I
would
always
be.
thought, oh, look at this is all free.
That big dude changing.
Right? Yeah, he's slow though. But that and like the elevator, just to say, I welcome this, right? It's making me tougher. It's telling my mind the truth. I'm not in danger.
I used him as an example. I just said a colleague, friend of mine.
Father Co-Drupp.
Yeah.
I was like, Ray, everyone's going to know who it is.
I used him as an example in the book. And then affectionately, I don't know if you know this, David, I call him G.I. Joe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I call him G.I. Joe, because Joe's his name, right? And GI, gastrointestinal issues that you have. Yeah.
I proved that about an hour ago. Was that out loud?
Yeah. So was what you just said.
Yeah, I have no knowledge of anything, Senator. So, this book, when does it come out? Do you know yet, or are you still?
I'm about 2/3 of the way through it.
Okay. And I gotta say, of your books, and you've really only written like 40. The one, now I've not read them all because I don't know if you've read them all. I'll be honest, but
I got the one to scratch and sniff for you.
yes. Oh my gosh, it was so good. No, the one Jesus, Thinking Like Jesus. Absolutely blew me away, and I've probably bought 10 copies of that and given them away. And not the kind of passive aggressive, you need to read this book, but sharing with people, this book fundamentally altered some things for me, and I want you to experience that if you want, And I've not yet had one person say it wasn't helpful, right? Or not comment. Everyone has said it was helpful. And your writing is so accessible. Like, there's a thing smart people do where they write in a way that anyone can understand. And there's a way people who want to appear to be smart write, which is where it's hard for you to understand. You get it? You make it so a person like me who has no training in psychology or psychiatric things, I mean, I've got some experience, if you know what I'm saying. But
You're at the other side of the desk.
right. But where I can read it and understand it, and the way you weave Christianity throughout it is really a gift, bro. It is. It's super helpful. If you were gonna invite the people here to get one of your books, like one, can I ask, like, what would it be?
My wife's favorite is the Thinking Like Jesus book.
Nice.
It's on the website. Gets signed and discounted on the website.
Yeah, but like signed by your wife?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
I don't have time to do that.
Yeah, no one would really want it. It was Randy here.
She is here somewhere. I don't know.
Nice. Okay.
Over there.
There's Dr. Ray's wife. And if you're not familiar with the concept of purgatory, she's in it now. I actually told her the other day, you could murder 3 people. You've got actually credit. She suffered so much.
She never worked for a living.
Randy, would you like to remember the part where you talked about someone with a gun?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to bring that up. All kidding aside, you've been a great blessing in my life and a huge help to me. And you're also a good friend and a buffet partner. And they actually, I don't know if you've noticed the Court of the Buffet guys where they have a roped-in area.
That's us.
That's us.
Well, I don't say anything, but I may have mentioned this last night or when we did the comedy stuff. They have various ethnic groups there, and the one Asian fella came up, Father Joe. You go now. You be here 4 hours. You know, put you up the buffet.
Yeah.
You scare my wife.
Yeah, I will
Bigger
no
boy.
longer pull up chairs to the buffet.
Go bigger boy.
Yeah. So when you come on this Good News Cruise, what do you think is the most important? What is it that makes it so helpful for people? As in your professional opinion, what is it that helps people so much?
You got to know my life is seeing tragedy. My life is sadness, it's depression, it's dysfunction, it's nastiness,
Yep.
you name it. Multiple times. So to come on a place like this and see some folks that are like happy,
Yeah.
getting along in their marriage, I kind of absorb it, And I send my wife out there as much as I can to get her to absorb it, as much as she can.
Yeah. Because
To
her
show
life is
yeah.
suffering and depression and darkness and yeah.
I met her on jury duty. Did I tell you that?
No.
I met my wife on jury duty. I think I had a hand
Yeah.
and getting her acquitted. And I'm not going to let DNA evidence stand in the way of romance.
No, it's funny, guys. The way I met Ray was we were doing a healing service at church, and I hadn't met him before. And, I said, does anyone want to come up and receive prayers? And he said he wanted prayers for his hearing. So I put my hand on his ears and I prayed. And then I lifted my hands. I said, how's the hearing? And he said, well, it's Tuesday. And I may have missed the point.
Yeah.
But how about this, Ray? Somebody brought up to me yesterday, and I grew up with a lot of this, right? In my family, there was a lot of alcoholism, right? A lot. And I know in marriages, and someone just mentioned this to me yesterday, that in a lot of marriages, one or both are struggling with addictive behaviors, be it alcohol or pornography or even drugs. I know I've buried more people from overdoses in the last 10 years than in the previous 16 combined. Easily. Oh wow, probably. Yeah. But what what can you do to help us here? Like, how can people in a marriage, if they are the addicted or they are the other, what can we do here? How can we help couples take that first step toward healing and wholeness? Do you have advice on this?
They say that if you have a weight problem, you keep the junk food out of your house.
Yeah.
First step you got to do is you got to take away the temptation.
Okay.
That guy's got a pornography problem. I can't tell you how many guys will say, well, no, I want my phone. I want my iPhone. I say, you don't understand. Your wife doesn't trust you at all. Get a flip phone. Oh, I don't know if I can get a flip phone. Your marriage is at stake. Oh, I can get on the computer. No, you have your wife put a password on the computer, and she's the only one who can put you on there.
Bro.
It's amazing how many guys won't do that.
Yeah.
That tells you right then and there. Are they willing to take the next steps to try to get past this?
Wow. Okay, brother. So, blunt force trauma. Get in there and cut off the means to the addiction. What about if a husband is struggling with an addiction to porn? And what I find, if you don't mind, I'm going to go a little bit here. I can't tell you how many times I've run into this, right? Where you look at guys our age, and I'm going to talk bluntly, by the way. So if anyone is watching this with or listening to this with kids in the room, please rethink the next few minutes, okay? But for our generation, if we wanted to see pornography, we had to work for it.
Yeah.
And you even needed a willing adult who will break the rules to get that to you. Yeah? And as a result, and this is true by God's grace, I've never seen porn. Never seen it, right? Once I got older and got opportunities, I knew from confession what was going on, and I know my personality. I'm like, no thanks, right? I don't need any help. The fight in my head is enough, yeah? But you look at now, we had a thing where, and forgive me if this is insensitive, I mean this, where we had some parents at our school come up, we want to lock the doors to church during kids' mass. I'm like, we're never going to lock the doors to church, right? Jesus is in there, and he's for everybody. And it turned into a bit of a fight. What if someone comes in and shoots up our church? And as lovingly as I could, I had to put on the thing where I explained, what? Don't talk about this? So, come Holy Spirit. Oh, I hear that. Can I launch? Okay, praise God. So, focus. Come Holy Spirit. I said gently but firmly, you put porn machines in your kids' hands when they were 7. What do you think is more likely? That they see violent, degrading porn every day, or that someone walks into the church? If you take away their phones, I'll lock the church doors. Now, I've not locked the church doors. Yeah? And I might be wrong. like I fear this all the time. I know I'm not wrong about the porn, but here's the thing: children who don't even know what their body is doing are being subjected, and then we tell them, and then we have a system that Jesus gave us, praise the Lord, of marriage, which for most of human history was by 15. And now we take 23-year-old kids and we've convinced them, no, you shouldn't get married till you're ready. And we aren't even thinking about grace. We're talking about money, right? And so we now have 28-year-olds who've been seeing porn since they were children, since before they were capable of making a choice. And we just give it, here you go. Here is a portal to the worst people in the world, right? And forgive me for but we wonder why boys are struggling with this. Because we didn't talk to them about it. We didn't fight for their purity. We didn't fight for their souls. We threw them in with the wolves and went, you got bit. What's wrong with you? Yeah?
Even if you fight for their souls and their purity, this is so powerful.
Oh, bro.
Parents completely, totally underestimate it.
Yeah.
They will ask me, what's the one thing I can do? One single thing I can do that will undercut my parenting. I said, it's simple. Here, give them this. And if your kid's 13 and doesn't have one, you're in the bottom 5%.
Yeah. It's so when we get marriage situations where one or both are struggling with pornography, we have to appropriately, and correct me if I'm wrong, even if you forgot more than I know, but we got to take the shame of confronting it out of the equation. Sin should always produce some element of shame, right? But at the same time, if that shame prevents us from going to the appropriate person and saying, I got a dog I can't chain up. I need help. And as a guy who knows addiction, there's no shame in that. There's no shame in saying it. And when you get tired maybe of being the accountability person for your partner, well, cowboy up, right? We're in the fight or we're not. In the fact that men and women, like I say, this is a celibate guy. I love being a priest. But one of the things I sometimes wish I could convince couples, do you know how blessed you are? I know your spouse drives you nuts, and I know you drive your spouse nuts. You have each other. Jesus gave you each other. How insane are you
celibate too.
to not? Yeah. How insane are you to not use this beautiful gift the Lord gave you? And look at Corinthians, where Paul says love is patient, love is kind, all that. Paul's not describing a concept. He's describing a person that he met, right? He met Jesus while he hated Jesus. And what did he see? Patience, kindness, right? That's the gift you're supposed to fight to give each other. Here's your safe place to chain up this dog, right? It's it. What do you think?
Very hard for me to deal with somebody that doesn't have a...
Yeah.
What I have to do then is just focus on the natural consequences of what they're doing. How many kids do you have? I have 4. You know, your wife wants to walk out the door. Will your 16-year-old still talk to you? No, she would accuse me of breaking up our family. So you would then, because of the pornography, also not see your 16-year-old. Yeah, that's true. You have to go with the natural stuff because there's no appeal to the morality.
Yeah.
Remember what Steve Ray said on this topic when he was here on the Good News Cruise? He talked about this.
Okay.
And he said every male is born, this is his analogy. He said every male is born with 2 dogs inside his head.
Yeah.
And one of those dogs is a good dog, and it wants to be good, and it wants to do good. He's talking probably about someone that has some type of a moral compass or a religious bent. The other dog is the kind of dog that likes the porn.
Yeah.
And he says, those 2 dogs will fight in every man's head. And he says, now the question is, which of the dogs wins? And the answer is the one you feed.
Yep. Praise God.
You got to starve the other and feed the one, and that's how you win. And because of this, because it's in their hands every day as children, they're getting that dog's getting its food.
Yeah.
You know, and so Yeah.
And I love what Doc said. And I've never, like, I've talked to a lot of people and given them, like, there's this thing on the internet called the easy peasy method. And I've had a lot of men tell them it helps a lot, right? But it's never occurred to me to say, flip phone, change the have your beloved change the password. But in the end, I just want to tell you, if this is your fight, you are loved. God is not repulsed by you. God is not disgusted by you. He loves you and he wants you free, right? And that's what all this is about. Recognize that if Jesus is calling you to give up an addiction, and he is, he's doing it because he wants you free. He doesn't want you chained. He wants you free. And, remember in Philippians, right? He who started this good work in you will see it to completion. The moment Jesus brings something to your heart and starts flicking your conscience, it's because that sin's dead. Now it's a matter of time and discipline, right? And commitment and accountability, right? Those are the only ways to kill dragons, I think.
I think it's a stake through the heart.
Yeah.
I'm mixing that up.
A long lance.
What did that guy in Lord of the Rings? There had to be an arrow in a very specific spot.
Where the scale was missing.
Yeah.
But other than that, you were right.
Well, I hear that a lot, David. But so we're grateful for you coming on here, Doc, and we're going to try to snag you again because we can. And we're excited. We got another interview coming up with a decent person. So we're excited about that.
Who's that?
Sister. We have a nun coming.
Oh, I'm the spiritual before picture.
Right. But I appreciate you guys. I really do. Let's all give a huge hand to Dr. Ray and to David. Thank you so much. I love you, bro. I do.
Now, Hammer, 12 o'clock.
Nice. Do you want to stick around and do the interview? Okay, you're back with me live. I am not dead. I have risen. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed that interview. And here's the cool thing. We've got more. Over the next few weeks, we'll be showing our interviews. We interviewed probably the funniest interview we did was with Sister Joseph Andrew. She was completely out of control. I was, of course, disciplined, mature. And then we interviewed Father Mike Schmitz and some guy. What was his name? Cardinal Dolan. I think he's a janitor or something in the church. So we'll be excited to release those over the next few weeks. And I hope you enjoyed it very much. Grateful for you guys tuning in. Grateful for all your support and your encouragement. Please don't forget to check out our website, joeinblackministries.com. And God bless you all.
Thank you for all the orders.
And thank you for all the orders. Are people ordering stuff?
Yes, they are.
Sweet. Okay. I was going to say my mom did, but she's dead. So I don't think she ordered anything. And if she did, we should write that down.
That's right.
Okay. Well, God bless you all. See you Friday for our question and answer. I didn't have my shirt buttoned up. Look. Is it over?
No, it's never over.
It's this.
But,
Greatest line ever. Well,
some things are never over.